Okay, great. Good morning. Hey, my friends, this is going to be quick. I wanted to share with you something I just experienced um, recently with regard to eating. And I thought this was fascinating. It's like for me to tell you or to read it or hear it, you're going to go, yeah, that makes sense. But man, I experienced this, so I wanted to share it with you. Okay, that looks blurry, but maybe it's because I took my eyes off. Um, Anyway, so here's the thing. We all know we sugar is added to make things taste better, right? Okay. It'll make you eat more just because it tastes better. Okay. We get that, right? All right. So I did this not on purpose. All right. So one of the foods that I've switched over was peanut butter. I was eating. I like eating peanut butter with celery. Always have. So I was kind of thankful that was something that would work on a diet like this, right? So I was putting peanut butter on celery, and I started this diet. All right, great. I'm gonna go out. And I'm gonna get something that's no sugar added. Well, that's like a very hard thing to find. Um, they exist. I actually haven't found it yet. I found it online, but not in Food Lion or in the store. Um, but what I ended up buying was almond butter. Okay. It's a pretty good substitute, right? It tastes pretty okay. So I was eating the almond butter, right? And it's a smaller jar, and so I went through it quicker. It was good. Okay, what I want you to hear out of this is I found an alternative and it was good. Okay. So I was putting almond butter on my celery, right? All's good, right? Well, I ran out because the jar is bigger. I still had like a third of the old peanut butter that I hadn't thrown out yet. I had about a third of the jar left. So I thought, well, I'll finish it up, you know, um, and that way, because who wants to waste money, right? Um, so I'm eating my celery with the old peanut butter, all right, and um, and then it just occurred to me as I was taking a few bites, pretty much, after I was, eating several stalks, um, that I wanted to eat more just because it was sweeter. Like it tasted good. The peanut butter tasted good. Now, I didn't not like the almond butter. The almond butter was fine. What I noticed with the almond butter was when I was no longer hungry, I no longer wanted to eat. It was sort of simple, right? Um, I liked it while I was hungry. When I wasn't hungry, wasn't interested in continuing to eat it. With this peanut butter, which was, your standard stuff in the store, whatever that has sugar in it, added, I'm sitting here eating it, actually realizing that I'm eating it not because I was hungry, um, but strictly because it tasted good. I'm thinking, okay, why do people overeat all the time? Because, be honest, it just tastes good, right? But if you're not hungry, why are we so stupid as to continue to eat when we're not hungry, right? Because it tastes good. That's the addictive quality that has you do that. Um, and I experienced it. I'm sitting there eating, and it was hard to actually think what I'm telling you. Like I thought about it, like, I want to take this bite because it tastes good, not because I'm hungry. I wasn't hungry. I was ready to stop, but because it tasted good. So, and then as I was thinking about doing this video to share this with you, because that's such a big thing to realize. Like, if you can just not eat when you're not hungry, like right there, you'll lose weight, right? All right. The other food that I thought of after that was Gatorade. How many of you pick Gatorade when you're just sitting down to eat dinner, right? Like nobody. Gatorade doesn't taste that great if you're not dehydrated, right? It just doesn't. It's not, yeah, if you're out in the sun in an amusement park or, after a workout and such, all that, when you're dehydrated and your electrolytes are depleted, it tastes great, right? It really, really does. It tastes great. Um, but if you're not, and you're just sitting back watching a movie or whatever, it doesn't. Nobody really wants Gatorade just hanging around, or like I said, like with dinner or even eating popcorn, like watching them. Like Gatorade's not good for those things. It's only good when you're depleted. Anyway, so it's kind of a very similar connection for me. The way I think about it is, you won't drink Gatorade when you're not like thirsty per se, and how many foods do we consume that are strictly because they taste good? You know what? I have found I've eaten a lot less. I'll get into this economic side at some later point, but a lot of people think eating healthy is expensive, or will be more expensive, right? It's not. It's actually not. It's not more expensive. Now, the food, I don't know, like if you wanted to do $1 per ounce of food is more, but you eat less. You eat less if you eat right. And if you eat less, you don't spend as much money, you know? And that's a side thing, because I know I even felt, I mean, obviously I felt that, I guess, before I started eating better. Is that, oh, well, okay. And I accepted that. Like in the beginning, I said, I'm going to suck up eating, having a higher food budget. Like, okay, I'm good with that. Like, that's not, that's all part of the why. Like, that did not factor in when my why is big enough, right? Couple extra dollars for some healthy food is not at all going to stop me from eating right. However, all I'm sharing with you here is, I learned that when you start eating the right types of foods that, and specifically have less sugar as an additive to make them taste great, you just don't eat as much. And it's great. I mean, I think it's great. I went out and bought another little jar of almond butter, but you know what? That little jar is probably equal to the big jar, because I won't eat it as much. I won't eat as much of it. And it still tastes good. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like, oh, well, you didn't eat it because you didn't taste good. It tastes good while you're hungry. Just like Gatorade tastes great while you're thirsty and depleted, right? But once that's satisfied, you're not eating what you don't need to eat. Okay, I won't keep saying it a million times. I thought it was fascinating, as an eye opener, and I wanted to share that with you. I wish you the best on starting. My last video was just about getting started. Oh, let me just touch on one thing. Somebody asked me about this after seeing that video. Alcohol just has a lot of carbs. It's huge in carbs. That's why alcohol is one of the first things you should get rid of, because it's like it factors in with, it's a drink. I don't really care if somebody likes a beer or not. That's not at all what this is about. What matters is, it's just a particular drink that has an enormous amount of carbs. Any alcoholic drink has an enormous amount of carbohydrates. It's like drinking sugar, just like soda. You're consuming an enormous amount of carbs. So that's why alcohol was on the initial handful of things to get out of your house: alcohol and desserts, and soda. I mean, if you ever looked at the sugar content in the soda, you'd be like, I'm drinking that? How's that even possible? Because it doesn't look drinkable. Like, it's but those are just super, super high carbohydrate, couple food items that, you can easily replace. I mean, 2 of them are drinks. Just drink something different for now. And then the only other thing I mentioned was, desserts, like ice creams and stuff like that, desserts in your house. Just get them out. These are things that you can easily replace, to satiate that need. You can drink anything other than those couple things. And then, dessert, just grab anything for now if you want something sweet in terms of like healthy, like apples or fruit. Just look for something better than the ice creams and cakes for right now. That's stage 1. Oh, there's my kitty cat. Hey, you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. No, they're over there. Okay, all right. I just wanted to share that thing with you that I learned, that I experienced with the peanut butter. Thought that was great. Looking forward to hearing more from you guys. So, you know, keep at it. Proud of y'all. And I will turn this off. How do you do this again? Yeah.